My specific role, the biggest thing, Coach challenged me at the beginning when he first got the job, gave me a call. We had probably like an hour and a half conversation just on his vision, and then also me getting his vision to the players and stuff, so we was all on the same page. And then also he challenged me with a couple of things to work on this off season and then to show it during the season.
Steve Wilkes is known for being more aggressive, like blitzes and things like that. Is that kind of exciting, knowing that you're going to be in defense where you might be throwing the looks at?
Right now, we're just building the foundation of it right now, so it ain't nothing really set in stone. Right now, it's just a starting block on making sure everybody in the correct spots and things like that. So when training camp comes, it's all about the competition and not really more like the thinking part of it.
What did you think about that when he called
Hold on. I was listening to him then. You said something. What is it now?
What did you think when Aaron called you and challenged you? Like, what did that mean to you, and what did you take from that?
Every year I try to get better. Every year my mindset is to get better. Sometimes I don't have a blueprint. Sometimes it takes me a while to find out what that next level looks like. That call right there was one of those things where all the thought process went out the window, and it was more like, all right, you had your challenge, now let's create a blueprint to get to those challenges as a team and then those challenges as an individual, because if I get my team goals, then I get my individual goals.
What does that next level look like for you? Obviously, you've had some success recently making All-Pro, so what does that next level look like for you?
Well, the first part of it is the one I'm working on right now, being a leader on the team, and then also being a part of the foundation of the team, number one. Number two was really just getting the defense down pat to become that person where I can look at the offense and worry about what the offense is doing and not more of like what are we doing or where I fit into a defense. So the first part was coming in, OTAs, it's optional and things like that. So we had that conversation. I already told him that I was going to be here because I need to get a mindset of what the defense is going to be like. So when come training camp, it's just competition. It's not like I'm getting the fundamentals down packed. Now it's the time for the fundamentals.
Quincy, when you had a chance to reflect after last season, January, February, before you started working on this year, what did you think went wrong for this team defensively last year? Because you guys have had such a high standard here, and it felt like it slipped a little bit last year.
I'm going to be honest, I don't even have a question for them right now just because we already went through the off season. So my mindset is now moving forward. We've been, 2 weeks in the OTAs right now. So my mindset has just been here, honestly. So as of right now, I do not have that answer to that because my mind is right here. And then also, I'm going to be honest, I'll let that one go. There was a whole new scheme, whole new everything. So I needed to have a new mindset coming into OTAs.
How would you describe Coach Glenn's coaching style?
Straightforward, honest. What I'm talking about, it ain't waiting until we get to the meeting room. It's honest and straightforward on the field so you can get it corrected right then. So you coming out not making the same mistakes. And then on top of that, it's one of those things where you know the expectations so you yourself can challenge yourself and be like, did I meet the expectations? It ain't one of those things where he got to come in and say it again. He done already said what his standard is. And so when you watching film, now everyone's having their own conversation as far as like, did I meet the standard that he said today? So that's kind of like what we've been doing.
Having said that, Quincy, you spent a few years here proving yourself and becoming the player that you've become. Do you feel there's a sense of that?
What you mean by proving yourself, though?
Like you becoming, the one of the top linebackers, that kind of thing, and setting goals for yourself. And now, do you feel like you have to kind of prove yourself again to this new coaching staff that, wants you to be a piece of their defense? Like, how do you approach this whole change?
I was trying to figure out how I wanted to answer that because I don't really think it's more like proving myself is one of those things where there's a standard being set, so I need to meet the standard. Now is I am the standard, so I need to move as the standard. So that's one of the things is now that's the challenge it is now to every single day find something to get better than, every single day lead by example, every single day off the field. We got a younger team right now, so being the standard for them off the field and being the standard for them on the field, that was the challenge.
You mentioned the standard a few times. What is the standard for this defense?
Standard for this defense to play fast, play violent, to be the most feared defense. And that's what we're working on now, so we're worried about working on that now.
You talk about being a leader. Are you a different leader? Are you doing things differently so far?
Right now it's more the fact that what does that leadership look like? So the only way you lead is by following. So I'm following Coach Glenn, I'm following Coach Wilkes, following Coach Curry, those guys who's coming in because they have a vision on how they want this team to look and how this defense will look. Right now, I'm just a vessel as far as like making the moves and things like that. So right now, my focus is being a part of this defense, and then also now when I'm a part of it and I know it like the back of my hand, then also we can help each other as far as like the communication.
How would you describe Coach Wilkes? You said before.
Oh, energy.
You said straightforward.
Energy.
You said straightforward.
Energy.
I'm glad right away. Why Will?
Energy. That's one thing I can say straightforward about that one. He's an energy person. First coming in the morning, waking everybody up, got the hands clapped. As soon as we coming in, he's all about energy. Whether we in T-shirts, he want to have the mindset of moving your mind as if you were in pads, but moving your body as if you was in T-shirts. So, energy.
Is it weird not having CJ around?
I talked to him. He came to my camp this weekend, so I had a conversation with him. And then also, he's still in New Jersey, so we've grabbed lunch a couple of times. But right now, it's the mindset of picking his brain on how to be more of a leader. When he came to the Jets, coming into a new team, he actually sat out a year. So it's like, what are the things that you worked on to come into a team that you really didn't know or really didn't, let's say, pick or whatever? So how did you become and be a leader to those guys? So it's kind of like the conversation we're having now.
Josh, what made you decide to sign here in the offseason?
I think the biggest thing was Coach Glenn coming. You know, I knew what kind of coach, what kind of person he was. I knew what kind of culture he was going to bring here, and I know it fit well for the Jets. And so I was like, I think that'd be a good situation. So I was excited to be a part of it.
Do you find that other teammates ask you about him, what he means, what he thinks, what he expects?
No, because he's going to tell you what he means. And he's going to tell you what he expects. So, no, it's more of just curiousness on, how was camp, this and that stuff. So,
how is camp?
We work. That's facts.
Did you interact with Tanner Angstrom much when you were in Detroit, and what did you think about him as a caller here?
Yeah, me and Tanner interacted a lot. Man, he's a smart dude. He's a smart dude. He knows his football. What I like about him, he's personable. He knows how to get the best out of people without going extra. He can talk to you like a man about it. And so I'm excited what he's going to bring here and kind of the creativeness he brings for him.
When you talked about, you said you knew the culture Aaron would bring here. What is that? How would you describe that culture? What is that culture?
Hard working. I'm not gonna use grit, but it is grit. It's we get hit in the mouth, we're gonna get back up. And we're gonna get back up and hit you back. And so that's kind of what this team needs, and how to win games. And so he's gonna bring that. He's gonna bring that here.
Obviously, it's early, but just your early thoughts on Justin Fields and just catch a pass with him.
He can throw it, man. He's got a beautiful ball. He's a smart quarterback. He's been picking up this offense pretty fast, and it's not easy. So, I'm excited to see how he kind of just continues to develop as the plays get a little easier, a little more recognition for it, and he's gonna be rolling.
What kind of opportunity is there here? Obviously, everybody knows Garrett's going to, 100 catches, 1,000 yards pretty much every season. But who's the number 2 receiver here? It's kind of a question around the NFL. It's going to be you. It's going to be Allen, Tyler, one of the young guys. What kind of opportunity do you see for yourself in terms of stepping up and filling that role?
I'm here for whatever they need me for. If it's 2, if it's 3. I'm here to help the team win. And so the time will tell. We still got to go through camp and all that, and so guys will emerge and some guys will fall, and so it's just the nature of the business, and I'm here to help the team win.
What do you feel like you bring to the receiving corps?
I think the vet presence. We got a lot of big bodies. Garrett with the great hands and the great routes, and so nothing too crazy. But, a good vet presence to be able to help these guys kind of pick up on the offense.
Who were some of the vets that you looked up to when you were younger in the league and you kind of emulate now in that role?
Guys like Robert Woods, Brandon Cooks. Yeah, them probably be the two that kind of were like, you know, they taught me how to work, and they, you know, taught me how to just kind of be a team guy.
What was last year like for you? It was obviously kind of a tumultuous year for a number of reasons. What did you take away from that when you reflect on it?
Well, I'm blessed, you know. Blessed to be here, blessed to still be playing. And so, you know, I'm gonna take it one day at a time and continue to get better.
Josh, obviously for the guys who were here last year, it was a disappointing season. How would you describe kind of the overall mindset of the group, the locker room, heading into this fresh experience?
I tell you what, you wouldn't think that, you know, they had the season they had last year with how they're coming in this year as far as mindset wise, because I mean, guys are here to, you know, they're ready to learn, ready to get after it. And, I mean, you see what the practice is. You know, I don't know what they looked like last year, but I mean, they're intense. You know, and that's what AG looks for. We're gonna practice with a purpose, and the purpose is to win games. Purpose is to get better. Purpose is to have detail, technique, and finish. So, you know, I think they got a great mindset coming in this year.
I'm used to seeing skirmishes or whatever in training camp when guys have pads on. You guys had to stop practicing for Wednesday. Is that what you're talking about? Is that
it gets a little chippy, you know? When guys are wanting to win, yeah, it's gonna get a little chippy, you know. And so it's like a good mixture of, can we do that but still kind of be under control, you know? And so I think it's gonna be good for them.
How similar is the system to what you did at Detroit?
I mean, it's pretty similar, but Tanner's got his twists and stuff, and you know, I'm excited to kind of see how he pulls that all together.
What's it like getting it back after you were out of Detroit for a couple of years? How much time does it take to get back into that system?
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little harder, but no. Once I kind of, you know, heard and seen these plays, I was like, oh yeah, you know, it just started. The memory started flooding back in, and so. A lot of it's just more being able to kind of do it as soon as you hear it, you know.
Josh, you mentioned, you know, taking it one day at a time. You feel blessed. Did your perspective on football life, all of it, kind of change from, you know, after going through everything you did on and off the field last year?
Not much. I mean, yeah, life is precious for sure, you know. But you know, the more you got to think about it, the more you just kind of reliving it. And so, you know, I'm moved past here in Jersey and ready to get going.